The skies were gray. Is this a good sign for us?
So we still have a lot of rain still to go, but at least temperatures are a little bit more mild today. That's probably a positive, especially considering once we get into the weekend, temperatures do start to take a bit more of a tumble, but we are tracking a flooding threat. And so that's why we have issued that 19 first alert weather day for Saturday, because we're concerned that several more rounds of rain over the next several days could be heavier at times, and the ground is going to struggle to kind of keep up with that. So we'll watch certainly any additional severe parameters that may accompany some of this, but really, if you live in a flood-prone area, if you live in one of those low-lying spots that when we get these pretty decent bouts of heavier rainfall for several days on end, you want to be alerted to that and have a plan in place just in case you need to go somewhere else for a little bit of time should that water come up just a little bit more. Our main concern, rivers, creeks, streams, things like that, things that are going to collect a little bit more of that water that runs off from the ground, because at a certain point, the ground's going to become so saturated that it really just can't hold on to more of that moisture in the ground. So it's just going to start running off. That's why we have that flood watch in effect for almost all of Northeast Ohio. And then those brighter green polygons, those are actually flood warnings for some of those rivers, creeks, and streams. I have a feeling we're going to see several more of those issued as we progress through the rest of this week, and especially as we get into the weekend. I do want to walk you through your future view, though. We had some of the rain and storms move through overnight last night. We're still technically waiting on the cold front to continue to move through and really feel the effects of some of that cooler air. So today is actually going to be a pretty mild day. The few showers we have out there now will continue to spread off towards the east, and largely we don't have too much to deal with when it comes to rain, at least through the afternoon. Now, once we get into this evening, that does start to change a little bit. There's a system just to our south. It's going to bring us a little bit more of that moisture. You can feel that humidity in the air today. So we're going to make use of it in terms of better rain chances, especially for areas south of US 30 as we head into the overnight hours tonight. You can just see how we're dealing with several hours of potentially some of that heavier rainfall. Now, by early tomorrow morning, it's a very different feel to our temperatures. You'll notice that harder reset with temperatures right around low to mid 40s to get our day started, but you may have just a couple scattered showers around the area, because as we progress through your Friday, we start to build in a little bit more of that moisture from the south once again, and that's going to help to bring back a better rain threat Friday night headed into your Saturday. But really, Friday night looks like it could bring some decently heavy bouts of rain through the area. If you have Friday evening plans, take the rain gear with you. Widely scattered showers will start to move in, but it's after midnight that once again we're likely going to be seeing some showers, possibly even some thunderstorms in the mix. So that is something we will have to watch for any severe potential with that. It does bring the warmer air back our direction to at least get the weekend started. Problem is, doesn't stick around too much longer. It looks like we are in for a cooler stretch headed into the second half of the weekend and early next week. We'll talk a little bit more about that pattern coming up in the next half hour.